I have found my 12th and final Holy Grail. I'm putting this video into my old Venture Into the Vault playlist. This channel started out as Venture Into the Vault, where I told stories of my youth through items in my collection. And in the video just prior to this one, in this playlist, I explain what a Holy Grail is to me. It's not what collectors are always calling the things that they find, the things they always want. They have a never-ending list of them. No, a Holy Grail to me is something that might not exist. It's just a rumor or a thought in my head that no one can corroborate. But I remember it, and it takes a veritable lifetime of searching for clues and evidence to track down. Does it actually exist? And if so, what is it? Where can I find it? And then the eventual acquisition of that item. And in that same video, I cover 11 of these items that I spent a lifetime tracking down. Well, I found the final one, and it's not an item, it's a video clip. So I'm going to give you a little backstory. I have a lot of collections of characters and storylines and scenarios that I try to spin off into various projects over the years. Here is an entire book of one of them called The Super Mashed Potato Men, featuring everything I ever did based on that original drawing from my friend Sean that he made back in 1991, immediately forgot about it, and it was rediscovered by a mutual friend more than 20 years later. Here's another one. This is a book you can actually buy on Amazon. This is a textbook, a total short novel that I wrote, all about a character that is a fat ninja. He's not here on the cover, but there is an illustration of him in the middle of this book, and the entire story is about this character that I've done lots of artwork and animation and game projects and what have you, that originally spun off that Silver Wolf comic, Fat Ninja, from 1986. But what we now have is one much older than them, much older than all of them. A character called Biff Corbit. Here's a section in one of my art books showing some of the work I did on this character, Biff Corbit, and his older friend and mentor, Doug. Some various character designs. You can see this gun here and this green translucent cube. Those will come up in a minute here. More character designs. These were the original drawings I ever made of Biff Corbit and Doug. Right here, here, and here. These were in 2010, I believe. Same with this little comic strip. And another comic strip. And then the beginnings of a comic page that kind of explain a little bit of the backstory of this character. You can see a young me and my friend Mike wearing the Figment hat from 1981. And we're going to play Legos, which we did. Mike assembled this ship and I assembled this moon buggy. Now, in his entire collection of Legos, there was only one green translucent cube, and we both wanted it. But this was like a one of this cube, and our character's mission was to go after and obtain this green cube, because it was so rare in all of the Legos. And we adventured through space and alien worlds, and he said his character's name is Doug. And I was like, Doug, that's a cool name. I want to be named Doug. And he's like, you can't. That's my name. So I had to have my own name, and I have no idea what I came up with. It didn't matter. It was going to be stupid compared to Doug. Well, that's where that green translucent cube came from. But the gun, you see the gun? That was my gun as a kid, the Sonic Phaser. Still shoots. Here we are again, more drawings and stuff, just continuing to try to make more character designs and what have you for Biff Corbit. Look at the gun on the holster. Various aliens that would be featured in the stories. Different characters. This was possibly going to be one of his girlfriends. Other characters from the story, Billy and 20, and Stu. Here's Dino, another fun illustration of one of their adventures. Here we have another one of my art books. And inside, I started the strip again. This actually looks pretty nice. And here the story continues. Wow, I like that panel. Cool. And then the last page, you can see he's exploring a ship and he acquires his gun. Here's another one of my characters that I created back in 1991. He is called Urad. Some different turnarounds of him and a red version and other characters that would have been filling out the stories with costume designs and front and back shots. Still trying to hammer down what the costume would look like. And from various angles. I actually made a doll out of this design with pieced together fabric parts and everything. And now in this other art book, we have this full-page digital painting I made of Biff running away from this crashed spaceship in the ice and this giant alien covered in hair. And here we have more costume designs. We've got maybe civilian clothes, putting the costume on. Ooh, I've combined the names. Doug is now Douglas, and it's Biff's real name, and Biff is a nickname. Oh, and he's got this kind of cool costume here. And other characters, Eulithrix, Vitimus, and Vector, and their companions, the mighty Zox and Dingus Gibbles. And again, more character turnarounds and costume designs, and we have the main enemy, Billion20, in his final form. More characters and aliens and whatnot. And here we have another art book. Still yet more design work. Now he has acquired Dingus Gibbles, and he's got a little alien friend, which was featured in that flying surfboard of the earlier illustrations. He's got all kinds of layers to his costume. Here's one of his spaceships. It's like a rocket bike, kind of like Lobo. Here's more companions and what have you. I like that dude. And then here we have storyboards for an animation. It's flying through space. Approaching a planet. Coming in through the atmosphere. Coming in for a landing. And then the title appears. And one more art book. Here we have 2 full-page digital paintings of Biff Corbit on his adventures. I really like these. In fact, this is the painting that I made my Biff Corbit bookmarks out of. So what part of this is a holy grail? What could I have been hunting for? Well, it is his name. I saw something on TV as a kid where a character came out and announced that his name was Biff Corbit. And that wasn't his name, but it stuck with me forever. All I could remember from it was that the guy that said his name was Biff Corbit was Luis Avalon from the Electric Company. But it wasn't on the Electric Company. I thought it might possibly have been from the Carol Burnett show because I thought she was in it. But Luis Avalon was never on the Carol Burnett show. Well, it took me 42 years, 5 months, 17 days, 13 hours, and 30 minutes, and I finally found the video clip. I was watching a YouTube tribute to Danny Seagrin, the man that wore the Spider-Man costume on the Electric Company, just died a couple of weeks ago. He was my first exposure to Spider-Man, and he just passed away. And as I was watching it, there were clips of the Electric Company, and there was Luis Avalon, and I just remembered, let me give another search for Biff Corbit stuff. And I'm just searching and searching, and up pops a tribute video of comedy clips of Luis Avalon as a tribute to him from when he died 11 years ago. And the video was posted 11 years ago. And I'm letting the video play, and I'm doing other things, and it's running and running, and right at the end I'm about to just shut it off. This is stupid, this is a waste of time, and then he says the name.
You must be Brookfield. My name is Biff Corbit.
I couldn't believe it. It was from the final few seconds of the final episode of a TV show that only ran for 2 months in 1983 called Condo, starring McLean Stevenson after he left MASH, and Luis Avalon. There are only 13 episodes. They were never put out on home video. They've never been re-aired. Only one episode is on YouTube, and it's not this one. And his wife is played by Yvonne Wilder, who I clearly mistook as Carol Burnett as a 9-year-old boy. This aired a few seconds before 8:30 p.m. on June 9th, 1983, which was a Thursday, just like today, when I finally found that clip. On November 27th, 2025, Thanksgiving Day, and Bruce Lee's 85th birthday. And there you have it, the origin of the name Biff Corbit, and my 12th and final Holy Grail. Until next time.